A lot of people have the wrong idea about what studying pharmacy really is like. So today I'm going to debunk some of those myths and share the reality. Come with me. Hi guys, and welcome back to another one of my videos. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Charles. I am a first year pharmacy student, which means I am currently in 200 level. And this channel is basically to share my experience, tell you guys what it's like, and all of that. So, like I said earlier, today we're going to be debunking some of the common myths about studying pharmacy, and I'm going to give you guys the reality from my experience. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so the first myth is pharmacy is just about selling drugs. No, pharmacy is not just about selling drugs. When people hear, "Oh, you're studying pharmacy," the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, you're going to be selling drugs, you're going to be a chemist, and all of that. Trust me, that's not the case. Studying pharmacy is not just about studying to sell drugs. It's about understanding drugs, how they work, how they react, the side effects, dosage, patient safety. It's very science based. In fact, it is. I can tell you, it's not just about selling drugs. I mean, you have to understand how these drugs interact with the patients. I can't really say much about that now because I'm still in my first year. This is just the beginning of it, but I understand from what I've done so far. And I can tell you for a fact that it is not just about selling drugs. It is about knowing drugs. I mean, making those drugs, dispensing those drugs when there is need for that. So when you hear somebody say, "Oh, you're studying pharmacy, you're going to own a chemist," rather, you're going to own a pharmacy. Yeah, you can own a pharmacy, but you're not a chemist, you're a pharmacist. There's a big difference. You don't have to read much to study pharmacy, or you don't have to read much while you're studying pharmacy. No, that's not the case. If you're studying pharmacy, you will read. I mean, you will read a lot. Half of the things you do in school is reading. Like when others have the time to play sports and maybe just hang out, you don't have that luxury. You have to be in the library or in the classroom or maybe even in your room studying one or two things, learning one or two things, trying to put something in your head because the farther you stay away from whatever you've been taught, the easier it is for you to escape from your head. I know this sounds like basic, yeah, in school you read now, but trust me, if you're studying pharmacy, you read a lot more than some other courses. Some other people that are studying other courses would. During my exam, like I just finished my first semester. I'm about to go into second semester. We're currently on break, but during the exam season, it was a lot. Like that was the first time I actually read like that. I did not even know I could read like that. Me as a person, I did not know I could read like that. It was a lot, man. Constant TDBs. You read, like you will read. You see your roommates not reading. They're probably watching TikTok or movies. You cannot do that. You can't. Even if you start reading from the beginning of the semester, which is a really good strategy, by the way, you will still have to read a lot. You will have to read daily. I mean, every day. You have to dedicate at least 1 hour to read to be successful in pharmacy school. Another myth that I have here is that first year of pharmacy school is chill. I'm in my first year of pharmacy school, which means I'm in 200 level. And I can tell you that it was not chill. It was not chill at all. The shift from 100 level math and physics and chemistry to 200 level farm chem, pharmaceutics, pharmacognosy, it was a whole lot. Like change of everything is not chill. I mean, the first year is even the most important, in my opinion, because if you don't get it from here, how do you want to get it? Most of the things, in fact, all of the things that we will do now, you will need them as you progress. In fact, most of our courses are prerequisite courses, which means that if you don't pass them in your 200 level, you cannot study the next phase of that course in 300 level. Like, if you don't pass PCG 201, you cannot do PCG 301. You have to carry it over. So while your mates are doing PCG 301, you are still stuck with PCG 201, and that's how you keep holding it until I don't even know what's happening in the end, but I've not reached there yet. Well, just telling you of the things I already know. First year is not chill. First year, for me, first year was a struggle. And I'm not even done with my first year. I just did the first semester. It was a struggle, honestly. Constant waking up early. Like, I have 8 a.m. classes every single day. Every day. In fact, sometimes we have classes on Saturdays. So it's not chill, but it's not extremely hard either. It will get hard. It will get harder than this, but for now, it wasn't chill, but I survived. I survived. Okay, moving on. Another one that I have here is you must be extremely brilliant or extremely intelligent. You must have some kind of extremely high IQ before you can study pharmacy. I want to say now that that is not true. You don't have to have some genes or some brain genes before you can study pharmacy. Um, you just need to have a good study technique. You need to be disciplined. You need to be hardworking because hard work beats natural intelligence, honestly. So you don't have to, if you're aspiring to study pharmacy, you don't let people tell you that, oh, pharmacy is so hard, you can't do it. I mean, you can do it. You can do it if you want to do it. You can do it if you are disciplined, if you are willing to be hardworking, if you are willing to bury your head in your book, because you bury your head in that book. Now I know I'm still in my first year. I'm still figuring things out, but I'm giving you all of these things based on my experience, based on what I know, and I'm giving you the reality. You don't have to be a genius. No, you don't have to have you don't have to have inherited genes that will make you smart. Mm. You just have to study hard, study really, really, really hard. So if you're aspiring to study pharmacy, don't let anybody talk you out of it. If that's what you really want to do, you're going to do it, but it will take a lot of work. I have here today is that pharmacy is boring. No, pharmacy is not boring. Studying pharmacy is not boring. It can be intense, but it's actually interesting when you connect what you're learning to real life. That is the drugs we use every day. I mean, well, imagine sitting in class and then you're learning about maybe the pharmaceutical importance of some elements, and then your lecturer tells you that, okay, this particular element that we have is used to make this type of drug. And you're like, okay, I know this drug, that kind of thing. It is not boring, definitely not boring. It's interesting. It is interesting. It's not one of those courses where you come to class and then you're just constantly sleeping. You can have boring lecturers, but it doesn't mean the course is boring, right? It doesn't mean the course is boring. To me, I find it interesting. I find it amusing actually that you can swallow a pill. You can feel all fuzzy today and you swallow a pill and the next minute, yeah, okay. What was that? So yeah, that's pharmacy for you. You learn about the pill, you learn why you have to swallow the pill, what what is wrong that you have to swallow that pill, what the pill does in your body, drug interactions, and all of that. So it's not boring. It's actually a very interesting course. There are subjects, I mean courses that I find very interesting, like pharmacognosy, for example. That is, well, in our first semester we did introduction to pharmacognosy. That's the history and all of that, and we also learned about the study of crude drugs. That's basically plants, unrefined drugs, plants, herbs, roots, barks, and all of that. And I found that's very interesting how honey is a traditional medicine and all of those stuff, Joe. It's not boring. It's not boring. Common myths that I have here is that pharmacy is easier than medicine. Chuckle. Pharmacy is not easier than medicine. And I'm not saying it is harder than medicine. I can't say that because I'm just in my first year. But I can say that pharmacy is not easy. The workload is heavy. There is a lot more memorizations, calculations, and practicals. Hey, a lot of practicals. So much practicals. Oh God. It's not harder than It's not easier than medicine, rather. It's just different. Yeah, two different things, right? It's different, it's not easier. That's what I'm going to say. Workload is heavy, practical. If I tell you about my practical life, you will love it. So no, pharmacy is not harder than medicine. It's just different. They are two different things, right? They are two different things. In fact, uh, as a pharmacy student, you do a lot of borrowed courses like anatomy, physiology, and those are medicine courses. So, in as much as you are studying your own pharmacy courses, you are still going to do the courses that medicine students are doing. And I think medicine students do one of the courses that pharmacy students do. I think that's pharmacology. I think even nursing students do pharmacology. But yeah, as a pharmacy student, you have to juggle doing your own courses. That's like pharmchem, PTE, and all of that alongside anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. Biochemistry, but that's just in the first year, sha. I don't think you will do it as you progress. But for now, I'm doing it. It's not easy, but I'm doing it. Another myth I have is pharmacy students only memorize drug names. Not true. Far from true. Like very, very far from true. Pharmacy students don't just memorize drug names. That's why I said being studying pharmacy, at the end of it, you'll be a pharmacist, not a chemist. I'm not trying to say chemist memorize only drug names, or don't go and quote me. But I'm saying that yes, drug names are important, but you will also learn mechanism of actions, drug interactions, formulations, calculations, patient counseling. It's more of understanding plus memorizing. You don't just learn the drug names because knowing the drug names is not enough, right? If a patient comes to you, they'll probably come with a prescription. You will have to look at the prescription. It's a lot. It's so much. But it's not just about knowing the drug names. You will learn the interaction of the drugs with the human body. Yes, pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. All of that. I can't say much about that because I'm just in my first year. As I progress, I will talk more on that. But for now, this is what I can say. As a pharmacy student, you're not just going to school to learn names of drugs. If it was to learn names of drugs, we can all learn names of drugs now, Nabi. It's not just to sit down for some time and cram it. So no, it's not just about learning the names of the drugs. It is about understanding the human body, understanding those drugs, and understanding how they relate, understanding the effects of those drugs on the human body. Calculations too. Oh man, a lot of calculations is involved because one of the things our lecturers always tell us is this: it is it is very easy to cure a person with a drug, but it's equally as easy to poison a person with the drug because mess up the calculations and it could be fatal. Telling you. So there's a lot of calculations, a lot of everything. So no, pharmacy is not just about learning drug names, okay? A very important one is this. Once you graduate, you can only work in a pharmacy shop. Wrong. Very, very wrong. No. If you study pharmacy, once you graduate, you cannot just only work in a pharmacy shop. You cannot only own a pharmacy store or a pharmacy. There's a lot more you can do with your certificate. Even now that the pharmacy program is now a PharmD program, and with that, you can do a lot more than just own a pharmacy. You can work in hospitals, you can work in industries, research, regulatory bodies, public health, and all of that. You can even work in manufacturing. So don't be deceived. Studying pharmacy doesn't just mean you will own a pharmacy shop and be selling drugs and be like a a community pharmacist. Doesn't end there. It doesn't just end there. It goes far beyond that, right? So yeah, there's a lot to it. There are a lot of job opportunities. Like I said earlier, you can work in hospitals, you can work in industries, research institutes, you can make drugs. It's not just selling drugs, it is making drugs, dispensing drugs. Of course, you have to have the license for all of that. But that's what studying pharmacy does. It gives you the license to make drugs. By drugs, I mean medicine, not I mean medicine. Don't get me wrong. I mean medicine. So we have come to the end of debunking common myths about studying pharmacy. Thank you for staying with me till the end. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comment sections. Also, if you are studying pharmacy or thinking of studying pharmacy, let me know in the comment sections. If you want more if you want more pharmacy contents, you have to subscribe. Support me, subscribe to my channel, and you'll get loads of it. There's a lot more to come. I still have roughly 4 years before I finish pharmacy school. So there is a whole lot to come. Any questions? Comment section. Any requests? Comment section. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.